No sword in my hands, just a will that won't break. I seen Midas terror tremble, felt every quake. Sam carried Frodo when he couldn't go on. Now I carry that heart even when hope is gone. Then came Gandalf's staff, lit the sky. Even the darkest times still let light fly. From Isengard fall to Helm's Deep's last stand. I rise with the brave, not just sword in hand. Don't fight for crowns, I don't kneel to fate. I stand like Eo and I won't hesitate. Aragorn's cry, Theoden's charge in the fray. I'm the flame in the dusk of the break of day. I don't fight for crowns, I don't kneel to fate. I stand like Eo and I won't hesitate. Aragorn's cry, Theoden's charge in the fray. I'm the flame in the dusk, the break of day. Fellow of the rings, I give it all. From Moria's dark to Mount Doom's fall. Fellow, beyond the pain, we fight till it's over, we rise again. From ashes we rise, we answer the call. We stand for the light, we are one for all. Born with the fire like smog in the air, but I learned from Boromir, beware despair. Power corrupts, the ring's heavy price. Gollum fell chasing it twice. I saw Denethor fall, blinded by fear, while Faramir stood, silent but clear. Galadriel's grace, but a fire inside. She passed on the test, while others just lied. I'm not just a fighter, I'm light through the shade. Like Legolas swift, and Gimli unafraid. From Rivendell's peace to the Black Gate's cry, I rise like the eagles, I will not die. Fellow, we give it all. From the Shire to Shadow, we heed the call. Fellow, beyond the flame, with hearts unbroken, we rise again. Through trolls and breaks, we rise through the fall. We stand for the weak, we are one for all. Fellow, through fire and stone, from ends that march to thrones overthrown. Fellow, no fear remains, even Sauron's shadow breaks at our name. We carry the ring, we answer the call. We stand as the light, we are one for all. I am here with the fellow of the rings.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. What am I saying? And in a happy world, mega server is going bonkers. We are grinding away, but I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Eduardo, my boy Eduardo, starting the stream with the £2 super chat, man. I appreciate the support, my friend. I hope everybody is doing great. What's up, Noah? I saw your message when you said you tend to watch the lives the next day. I'm glad you made it tonight. Everything is good. Everything is good. Let's go, baby. Really your uncle, Aiden. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Arturo, Pete, Aiden, Peter? We got Ark in the house. That's really cool, man. You and your uncle play the game. That is pretty awesome. He's defo well. I gotta see who is your uncle though. What's up, Blue Eyes? How are you doing? Definitely a lot going on. Although I can't say there is a whole lot going on in terms of what I'm doing. I'll share. Man, I know. I know. I saw your message. What's up, Sam? What's up, Firefly? All right, let's pull the music. I like having the music up a little. I'll turn it down a little bit, I guess. But what's up, Tom Somner? Hope you're having a great day. By the way, a couple of updates here. So let's go all the way up to Carn. We saw yesterday that Erebor was pushing through. And just a moment ago, not too long ago, Erebor has taken hold of Carn, now belonging to the dwarves. You know? So you got Erebor still fighting up here, uprooting a lot of people. Now, I'm assuming they're going to be moving south towards these other keeps. Give themselves a bit of a buffer so they can later on push in the middle section. What's up, Gen X? How long y'all going to keep beating a dead horse? The preseason alliance with Erebor is so obvious at this point. Look, there's two questions here, right? Where's Durin's Tower? It's right over. So you got Moria. Give me a second. You got Moria over here. And then Durin's Tower is usually. Is it in Rebuilding Glory? Is it this one? Here we go. Durin's Tower is right here. Right here, boy. There we go. Now, Gen X, two interesting questions. You're gonna keep beating a dead horse. First answer to that is, I'm not a leader in this season, so maybe there's a leader watching. I don't know, but asking me that question doesn't necessarily help you or me because I am just a player. You know, I'm a player that is streaming. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm streaming, and I'm a player in this server. Right? I've been giving my opinions on certain things, but at the end of the day, I'm supporting the movements of my team. Second question, the second thing you said though, the preseason alliance with Erebor is so obvious at this point. That's something that, you know, it's within your right to say. Now, if you're right or if you're wrong, it's, you know, you're gonna believe whatever you want to believe. So I'm not even gonna try to argue your point of view. But all I can say is, it's kind of that type of that belief that, you know, you see things happening and you're like, you know, for sure this is happening, that it doesn't really matter what the truth is. You know, you have your own truth and it is what it is. Fella, are you going to do the end of season stream for the youth server? I don't think so. Look, personally, I don't think there is much to really talk about. You know, I guess maybe we can. Maybe I'll do kind of a quick recap. When I gotta see when does it end. If it's tonight, tomorrow. You know, and it's cool. Look, I think it's good that people. Oh, Forn, Aiden, yeah, Forn is yeah. I've hit Forn a couple of times. Everybody has the right to believe whatever they want. You know. But it doesn't really help the reality of things when we do that. But like I said, to each their own. I'm not gonna sit here and argue because it really is pointless. He has played for 4 seasons, but spent, I think, a lot. Probably his account's pretty big. So we took the pass. I know you guys were asking. I was kind of keeping the mystery, but we did break through. That was gonna be the thumbnail, but I already did the thumbnail for the pass yesterday. So, like, you know, might as well shout out to, you know, Erebor and Angmar, the fight up north. And yeah, pretty good. Alrighty, got some direct messages over here. Who's hitting me up? I'm gonna have to guess. Oh, I know who it is. Dahi, what's up? Okay, we took the pass a few hours ago, and now we're moving into a couple of players, and we're currently sitting right here, moving things around. Right, pushing some players, pushing some bases, and trying to give ourselves a bit of a buffer now in this pass, and you got a little defense going on over here. That's essentially it, guys. I think we can close the stream for tonight. I'm just kidding. Let's have a look at who is a top farmer currently. You got Dig Duck. Dig Duck, who has been kind of quiet all season, has taken the first position for affluence over Raven. Raven is second. Hero and Bear is third. The Beast, Lucifer Fallen Bear, has gone to fifth. Dumbo, sixth. Seventh is that name I can't pronounce. Cividuck, Lupus, this other name I can't pronounce. And then myself. All right. Oh, Thanatos is all the way up here. Freaking farmer. What's up, Vinicius? What's up, the Yorsk? Do you plan to go to Dogodur? I mean, that's the plan, you know. I think that's the plan for every team. If somebody's going to take it, that's another thing. Where's the merit leader? Well, still Raven for now. Got Raven at the top, 3.3. Dumbo, 2.2. The order play at 2.1. Kitten and everybody else is kind of closing in. You got, you know, Price over here, 1.76. I'm in 14th. You know, you guys saw I was like in 20th, I think yesterday or something. Now we passed Ricky Spanish, who has been farming merit all season long. I am behind my boy Isaac, though. What's up, yours? I appreciate the subscription, brother or sister. Thank you so much. Any cool reports you can show? I'll show the reports. No mystery there. So trying to climb up the ranks. Selenith, who I found out, by the way, guys and girls, that she is a lady. Selenith is a girl. If you guys ever want to talk about this player who has it's probably going to be my top build for the season, because how efficient it is. You know? So, because of that, she might, unless somebody shows me a different one, might win the most unique build for the season for me. By the way, y'all, Bernie is right. Like the stream. We're getting, you know, the lives are getting a lot of traction comparing to, you know, previous live streams. We're hitting at least 1,000 in every single one of them, which is a very, 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 very good sign. All right, 8.8 and 5.5 million for those two. What do you mean? Who are you talking about? Fellow, in your opinion, is Bear or Panda stronger? I honestly don't know. From what I gather, it seems that I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Bear has been top farm, you know, farm in terms of the fellowship. Oh wow, yeah. Bear has been in the top, right, the whole time, the whole season. And we've been second for quite some time. So if you go by this, they're definitely stronger by a little bit. In terms of armies, though, that is a good question. I mean, let's have a look here. No, not this one. It's this one. Let's see if we can find some Bear results. Actually, it's over here. Bear. Lame step order. Not sure if we're gonna have any bears here. Oh, here you go. Got Daish. So nobody has been posting anything that I can actually see now. So I don't really know. I know Bear has a lot of strong players. So, not sure. Yes, let's have a look at some reports with the Helm team. I guess you guys want to see some of that. So, most of the time we win the first fights, as you guys can see. Trade is pretty good on our, in our favor. A lot of CC. Hopefully it's hitting the right. It doesn't. Come on, man. It has to hit the right commander at least. Look at this. Not a single one on Bjorn. That's the one I'm trying to nerf here, boys. Well, first and only time I faced bear, we were decimated, and panda were our allies. What's up, Necromancer? Oh, wait. Oof. Oof. I cleaned myself, Necromancer. Bear is the strongest team in the server. There you go. Maybe the other, no. I haven't faced bear ever, so I don't know. All right, so a few more reports. So we hit this over here. We hit Liverpool. That was a very good result for us. Look at that. Look at that. And Liverpool is not a small nut. The big nut to crack. So not bad. Not bad over here. 291 versus 219. Let's see. 19 anomalies. Ooh, look at that. Dane getting shut down. I mean, no, Dane still did a lot of damage. Come on, gotta shut it down. What's going on, Helm? The 3 inboxes. Come on, Necromancer. Come on, let me get you. There you go. Lane probably weakest because I'm there. Do you have an account on the RP Mega server? If yes, can you maybe show how it's going there? I'll ask to see if somebody can share a screen and stuff. What's up, Livian? So for me right now, all I'm trying to do is conserve my resources and get troops. Because I got nothing. right now. Let's see. Guess I could look at one of the 13s over here. Let's see what we can do. All right, give me where's the 13? Oh, there you go. No, it has to be a 13 blue. There we go. Ring, gather. So that's 200 and... What's up, Eduardo? My boy Eduardo with the £5 super chat, man. You killing me here. You killing me here, bro. I appreciate it. So... Você é fora desse mundo, meu amigo. All right, so we're getting an hour. We get 220,000 resources. If I go with the levy, gives me the stuff automatically, and that's 270. So see, when you get to a certain level of tiles affluence, it never is useful. That's Portuguese, Blue Eye. So, you know, it was 220 with the bonus from the items that I have. In this case, it's 140, 240, 280, almost 280 instantly. So it's never worth it to do the 5 gathering anymore after a certain time. All you want to do is, what's up, my boy Angus with the £10 super chat. Yo, legends, man. You guys are legit legends. I actually need to consider streaming on, what's it called again? On Twitch. I know there's like all these little cool things you can do on Twitch. Potatoes. Are you serious gonna say that? You serious gonna say that to me? And fellow, if you do that during a boost period, it's even better. Yes, I agree with you. That's true. That's true, because you get the bonus there as well. So all I'm doing right now, guys, is trying to conserve troops. There isn't a whole lot of PvP that I'll be doing tonight. Hopefully you guys are not gonna... I mean, maybe I shouldn't have said that. You might just like, oh, okay, so we're off. No stream. I'm just trying to conserve troops. There we go. Because although my barracks are full, I do have kind of a crazy mix of troops that I actually need to burn off. Actually, that's what I'm going to... I'm just burning off troops here. Need some marauders. No, not tier 3s. Tier 2 marauders. Yes, sir. Yep. And then some guardianos. That's the 4 units I need to use. And then what I'm gonna do right now, is come over here. So I got some troops over here. Where is this? Where is my... So Bard is over here. Let's send all of these dudes that we can. 20 minutes. I ain't doing 20 minutes. Okay, so let's send all of these guys that I need to burn off. I know it's nothing, but I prefer burning them off than knights. We'll keep the knights. We'll just burn all of these. I can at least use them to take tiles. I gotta burn all these troops off so I can keep only the ones that I actually use for now for PvP. So let's send these over here. Put a bird on them for gather. That's the thing. It's not really worth it anymore. I got a lot more resources from doing the levy. Yorsk. What's my main formation? I'm moving commanders around because the formations two formations, they play on each other's commanders a little bit. So I'm running Undying currently as my tank in this team. And there's things I can change around, right? I can put, instead of Gandalf the White, I can put Sauron. There's all these things I can do, but this team has been doing fine for now. Ooh, actually, I should have done this before too. Oh, I got a Fell Beast I can use, I guess. Can we do? Ooh, okay. Yes, we can do this. So we don't necessarily burn everything. I'm gonna conscript some units with with Saruman. I'm gonna do this actually. First, let's reinforce, make it full. Gotta just do away with some of these commanders or units. Enter over here. Let's go back on this market. Barter. Let's get some ore. Some more. I actually need more ore. I've been using a lot of ore lately for half trolls. Crazy enough. You do not look happy, fellow. Oh, I'm a bit tired, to be honest. After last night's streams, I went to bed at 2:30 maybe because I was doing some things after as well. So I went to work, had a good day at work. Got home, went out to buy some food, fruits and salad and stuff for the house. There we go. We can do that. Okay. There we go. We can send one full army after this. And so after that, I'm just I was doing a little bit more work that I have outside of my regular job. That's why I was streaming late. To be honest with you guys, because this, I'm currently kind of a sitting duck over here waiting for resources and troops. I was like, should I really stream? Should I even stream? Well, then I saw a couple of messages. One from my friend Eduardo here, and the other from Angus over here, surprisingly. And so I was like, I gotta do it. So I wasn't feeling it. I was like, no, I gotta do it. So that's why I took a little bit of time. The first appointment was good, Eduardo. It was good. So we have the first ultrasound scheduled for the 19th of this month. So we'll get more details during the ultrasound. But yeah, everything's good so far. Thank you for asking. Azog is nice. Yeah, I'm really enjoying using Azog. It's been many seasons that I actually have been having fun with troop formations, and this one is just being incredible so far. Like in Helm, like in Azog, like in Kirun as well. So gotta play things around, see who fits the best, and then move along. Are you noticing when players are uprooted, are they quitting or still playing on? Good question. The ones that the teams here, I'm pretty sure they're all playing. Most of them are all playing on. It could happen, when players are either in a very small team. I could see that potentially happening, where just like I'm done for the season or even the game. This game is not very. It can be not as forgiving to Oh man, could have used these guys. I guess we'll send them after. These two. I guess we'll keep those. The game can be not as forgiving to, you know, to newer players, or you know, if they don't have a good what do you call it? Like a good support system when they first join the game. It can be rough, extremely rough. So let's clean these. Gotta make sure I know all the troops that I have, man. Troop management. One of the key elements in this game. So yeah. Yes, I said, my boy. I knew if I said Kirun, I summon you. So that's why. Bunch of forts everywhere. I have troops here. Right by the crossing. Oh, do I have any? Yeah, I got a bunch of troops just sitting everywhere. I gotta clean these guys up, man. Or else I never. That's why I like never. It looks like I have full barracks, and I still can't use because I got too many mixes everywhere. All right, so that one is all so clean. Oh, got one troop, a single unit here. Increíble. All right, clean this off. Could summon me by saying Ogler go P. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's another one. Although I like Ogler. Ogler is a cool commander. Any troops here? Nope, that one is clean. My base is clean. This is clean. Only level 1 or 2. Now these ones. Okay, this is clean. And that one is getting reinforced. So I mean, okay. We got pretty much all of our forts are clean now. Is Susano still here? Did we clean him? Yep, he is gone. He's been cleansed. He's been cleansed. So yeah, Angus, just to answer your question, I think it depends on the team. Legend is from, yeah, so there you go. Nice. Who's coming? Man, these. Yeah, my boy here for the. I mean, he's getting some free merit right there, but also for the support, man. Saving my time. See, this I gotta take these styles back, man. Using my units over here. Dig has a cool guy here. He sure does. I think we can see it still. Let's see. There you go. Dig Duck with the Z3. Z3 Guajir. Whoo-wee. R10. Look at this baby boy too. R8. R10. Man. Some nice ones. This is probably one of the coolest things to check out now. I didn't really know that you could do this. So cool. Oh, I think he's Z1, yeah. And if you know who you're looking for, you're like, oh, where are the big boys? Where are the big boys? I mean, let's see. Dig Duck, Z what? Z2. There you go. There you go. Let's see. Who else? What else? Pumba. R10. Ice Grill. Z5. Yeah, Z5. Dig Duck Z what? Z4. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. You got all these troops going back. Where is my army though? Here we go. Got 42 minutes to go. Let's check out the movements, the progress. Yo, got 50 people. What's up, my boy Ghost? Got 50 people. By the way, guys, look, if you guys ever, there's a really cool way you guys can support the channel too. You guys ever want to be? See how Ghost has a little ring and Angus have a ring. And yes, who else? Yeah, Ghost has a ring and Angus have a ring next to their names. That's because they are part of the premium group inside of YouTube, right? So if you next to the subscribe, there's a button called join. There's 3 different tiers you can join. $1.99. I don't even remember the price anymore. But one of the cool perks is that you get that cool ring next to your name, and each month that it passes, you get a new color. Yeah, you're the only one currently with that color, Ghost. What's up, Yavana? How are you doing? The merits here. Oh, what the right here, man. That's what we got right now. Raven at top. Dimbo, who is Maddox, in number 2. And I'm currently, I guess we'll go the other ones. You got this guy that I can never pronounce. Kitten, 1.9. The Beast, 1.8. Myth Love, 1.8. Jack Sparrow, 1.7. And everybody following suit. I'm down at 1.6, but that is higher than what we were a couple days ago. Zolu, he has 1.63. And I am at 1.62. So 10,000 more. Potentially I pass to the 13th spot. We have broken through the pass for sure. For sure we did. Right? We broke through this pass over here. And now we're pushing. We uprooted a few players. And cleaning all this side over here, all the way to the tip of the island on this side. And then we're moving this way. Oh, they did. Oh no, Rick Spanish is still here. Okay, Ricky Spanish. And then we're moving east this way. We got a little defense going on over here, but like I said, I gotta preserve my troops. It's just, thank you, Razor. We need the troop carriers are good side to do things. I mean, I'm assuming Luna, you're saying, yeah. So it's saying like troop commander. What's up, Logic? How you doing, man? This can be the most expensive server in the entire game until now. Yeah, probably. There's probably the biggest number of Krakens and whales in one place, potentially, since 1.0 probably, or since 2.0. 1.0, I'm not sure. Yeah. How did the teams decide their partner? From what I understood, they just talked it out and they kind of, I guess, trying to like convince each other why they should partner. I'm gonna assume. I don't really know. Eduardo, what are you? Oh, that's true. That's true. To go fort by fort. Yeah, you're right. Gotta prolong the stream though, Eduardo. In Portuguese, in Brazil, I don't know if they say that in Portugal, but we say encher linguiça. I smell money in the live. Well, the boy's gotta pay his bills. Just kidding. Encher linguiça, meu amigo. Oh, but that's cool. I probably didn't notice that. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's something I actually did not know, though. So, see, still living and learning. The forts that have these little helmets on, they have troops inside. I did not know that. In Portuguese, encher chouriço. Yeah. In Portuguese, yeah. Similar, just different words. Here we go. There you go. The Legend 27. For sure, we won't go down without a fight. Gio. Let's go, baby. We need the fire emoji. We don't have a fire emoji. Unbelievable. Oh, there. Of course we do. Woo-wee. Let's go, baby. Balangar fiado até o beiço cair. Wait, I speak Portuguese, but what is balangar? I have no idea what that means. Is that Portuguese from Portugal? Y'all killing me right now. Let's see. Man, it's crazy. I've been training troops all day as no at the same time, sending some troops here and there to fight. Still so low on the barracks. So low on the barracks. And look, we're not doing too bad. I had to stop fighting because I didn't really have a whole lot of troops, to keep going. So, let's see. I don't think the store has anything. Nope. Now, we're doing pretty good in terms of merit. We're in second place. I was first all afternoon, but then Isaac, freaking menace, doesn't stop. So, right now, I think my commanders all have full stamina. Like, I haven't been able to fight with them at all today. Barely see. Saruman has a little bit used, but everybody else is basically pretty much full. And so I'm just going to train troops, and that's it for now. There's nothing else that I can really do. And besides, take some tiles down south. If you guys have any questions, bonjour, awesome. Haha, não, Minas, balangar fiada, falar pelos cotovelos. Essa é nova, viu? Essa eu não sabia. If sniping gave merit, meat would probably be up there for sure. I'm glad it doesn't though. Man, that's a lot of merit for sniping. Kudos to him though. Very, very patient. With a very solid strategy to do it. So, any chance you let someone pull out your account one day? Nah, I couldn't. First, I'm extremely, extremely active. Like, very active. And second is just there's still investments being made into it. So like Undying was R9 at the beginning of the season, and we're tomorrow, once the refresh goes, we're probably gonna be at R14, probably like almost halfway to R14 by tomorrow. Shadow's getting closer to Z5. Kirun will be R12 tomorrow. Azog was Z4, Z5 when we first started the season. He was Z2. He's almost Z4 now. So, yeah, it's just too much. My boy Avicii coming in silently with... he's also a member of the private, amazing, premium community. He has that beautiful bluish ring next to his name. With the €1.20 super chat. Yeah, boy. I appreciate that. Are you just doing a check key hour stream tonight? Well, one of the things I'm going to do is I need to take some tiles. I do need to switch some of these 8s for some 10s, potentially 11s, just because I am pretty low on, I need to boost my resources a little bit. And like I've been saying in the other streams, I didn't go middle, right? I could have gone middle and just rushed everything and kind of do what players do, which, like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that if there's anything wrong. I'm just stating what it is, right? So I could have just come in, try to take as many of these as I could. Like, nah, it's fine. Look, look how many 8s, they're free. They're not the worst, right? They're not the worst. 8s are fine to fight. And we still have 50 tiles that we need to open to make conscription faster. So, but I do want to change those for a little bit more, like 10s and 11s. Oh, no, man. Don't come. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to come for that one. No. I need him to go back to the fort so I can swap out some troops. All right. So let's take him down. Oh, no. What the heck am I doing? That was weird. Okay. Now, so what I'm gonna do now is just swap out some troops and hit that 11 tile. It's gonna hurt a lot because I don't have. Guess I could put that on him, and then go with yada. This on him maybe. Yeah, that's not bad. Right. So we can go back now to that tile. See, this guy keeps taking my tiles, and I gotta give it to him. So we took that 11 over here. I'm gonna try to take this 11. I'm not sure if I can, though. What is going on? Are you serious? That is why nobody's taking it, I guess. No range, huh? Or maybe I'll take one of these. Because I think somebody took it from me. Okay, so we're gonna come for this one, I guess, for now. Take that wood one. Oh, he stopped. What the heck? Oh, no, he's coming. He's coming for that one. That one is still there. Yep, maybe I can take this one too. Yep, still inside, so I can take that one as well. I mean, and then Rohan is going to take it back. I don't mind. It just gives me a couple of hours before they come and retake it so that I can, you know, get more resources. That's essentially what I'm trying to do. Hello, tell me to stop sniping. I can't do that, man. I did my first 11 tile. I had 90k troops. Had 60 left. All right, not bad. That's pretty good. My tiles owned. So I have, so let's see, 33 11s, 62 10s, and then a bunch of 9s, 12 9s, and 35 8s. And then one level 5. For some reason, I have a level 5. That's essentially all I got. I don't have any, you know, like I said, no 12s, no 13s. And I'm still at the very top. I'm happy with that, you know. I allow my teams. What's up, Demon Goddess? Allowed, you know, the other members of my team to farm, which is good. Not yet, actually. I was not able to yet. I mean, I don't know if yours. I'm not, you know, not necessarily. I'm not sure. I would say generous, but at the end of the day, if I had 70,000 of affluence, but my teammates couldn't conscript, there's so much one player can do alone. This is not 1.0, where if you had the right formation, you could hold off 5, 6, 7 hits. You can't do that anymore. So having crazy amounts where when your teammates have very little, it's not very useful. Not very useful at all. Gods and step were kind of more even. On you mean power size? Monster account, you think anyone might have bigger account than yours? I mean, Raven has a pretty big account. So there are a few that I know have really big accounts. Raven, Dig Duck has one. See who else. Maddox might have one. Maddox has a really big one. Lonely has a really big one. Incredibly big one. Rain Wizard, which is the old fish wizard. Those are the 5 that I know for sure are incredibly big. Ice Grim in this server also has a really big account. Yeah, these are the ones that I know for sure have really big accounts. But besides those 5, I'm not sure if there's anybody that there's a CLF in Utes has a really big account. And a lot of 1.0 gear, which is really smart. He kept basically almost all his 1.0 gear, and he just got more 2.0. That was pretty good for him because he gets to use all these tactical maneuvers, frenzy if he ever wants to, all these other things that nobody has access to anymore. Raven Digger, yeah, OG unit, yes, all very correct. It's uproot him. I mean, if I fight him, I'll try. Has multiple formations too. Yeah, great, just the same as yourself. Hard juggling everything God is. No sé inglés, no me entero de nada, pero lo que digan mis compañeros de gods es cierto todo. Oh, qué bueno, Sergio. Well, we fought against Jacob of Unbroken last season, and he and 2 others could hold and push back our whole faction alone. That's interesting. What faction were you, Tom? I mean, it depends on the size too. That's what I'm trying to say. In this server, you can't. If it's against smaller teams, 2-3 formations really well optimized, you can take probably 7 to 10 hits each, but it's not against dolphins. It's probably going to be smaller players. So it depends if it's yeah, exactly. Free to play, you can do that, but back in the day 1.0 you couldn't even do that. I mean, yeah, free to play is for sure in 1.0. But at this level that we are talking about now, not even in 1.0 you can do that. If you had 5 whales versus 5 whales, nothing is really going to happen. And so in a server like this, it does become not very useful to try and do that. Might as well share the resources so everybody can continue fighting. Dynamite is powerful. I believe to some extent, yes, Avicii. He has a nice formation. Yeah. Rain Wizard still plays. Yeah, they're in small. The account is in small. You need numbers and active players. A big player can only do so much. I mean, an active player can do so little. A big account will not be doing, like I said, in a server like this, a big account will not be doing more than 3 hits in one fight. So let's say he hits a stack of 3. He will drop the first 2 probably, and the third one he will lose. That's all. Oh, yeah. Oh, but what about somebody with a Z20? Exactly. Nothing changes really. Because gear is different than 1.0. The gear is just an extra boost and attack or defense. It's nothing different like 1.0 where you have these very unique different types of skills for the gear. So yeah, Krakens won't do on an equal footing or a semi-equal. They can't. They're not able to do that a whole lot anymore. Yeah, exactly. Rain Wizards, they usually rank really high. Yeah. Started doing March Warden for stun immunity in 3 rounds of Keen Eye to fight against Gills and Undying, since Scouthelm gives Madness immunity and you can't drop 2 of her skills, working very well. Yeah. March Warners are incredibly well. CLF is definitely a monster. Took away my Dwelling Relic and pushed him from R14 to R10 Legendary. I know, bro. We are all on that boat. Many of us had invested into Dwellings, Caldoons, Usra, score bags, and they're all kind of useless now. Dale, mañana me contas ahí si te gustó. Si te gustó what, Ramiro? What did I like? Oh, I guess you're talking about the ensemble. Bilbo. Oh yeah, there's Bilbo. Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil in this server is also really strong. He has quite. I can show you guys a couple, I believe. Where is Tom Bombadil's reports? Can we see some over here? Look at this. Tom Bombadil is running some nice formations. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, very expensive, but running a Z3 Azog with a Z5 Elmer, which is really cool to see. A Z7 Helm. Hoo-wee! And a Z4 Theoden. This is really cool to see. Very expensive build, but effective. How did that work? How did I switch sides? What in the world was that? Okay. Lots of horse buffs. Yep. Lots of horse buffs. Very expensive though. Running that team there is extremely expensive. Now here's a commander that I still need to find a way to make him work properly. Bard is a very strange commander with all these different skills. I mean, he has a really cool skill here. Right? Increases attack by, in my case, let's see, by 4, let's say by 8. So by 30, attack by 38. It's defense plus 10. And an initial effect applies to all races. So he can get like Snagathrax to do maximum damage 60% of the time. But he has like all these different damage dealing skills with a little bit of bleed. Bottom R0 with the bleed, with Keen Eye, right? With some more bleed over here. But you never get him to do a whole lot of damage. It's just crazy. You can never get him to do too much damage. So there's a lot that needs to be tested still. Tommy wears Smash last season, so what goes around comes around. Add him to a unit build. Potentially, Murph. That potentially could work, man. But it's just Bard right now is not on the main... Like, not on the main focus. We got 3 teams going. I mean, funny enough, I don't even have... Like, I'm running Thorin in this team, and that's not necessarily what I want to run him on in either. Like, you know, gotta switch this off. I need some damage troops on him. And he actually did quite decent when I put... Man, you suck. You taking my tile up north? All right. Yeah, he's blocking. I mean, yeah, clearly gonna take my tile here. All right, they're uprooting more and more. That tile's not gonna go unavenged. Okay, everything's been basically cut off. These guys are stuck. Oh man, I mean, these guys either move or just wait to be uprooted because there's nothing they can do now. I mean, they're not completely blocked off yet, I guess. Yeah, not completely, but they could have easily just blocked them off, just make a line here. Like yeah, you're not going anywhere, buddy. But they didn't do it. They didn't do that. So we'll try to move east now. Get some fights over here. Panda at a neutral home mine. That's the one. Where is Helm? Yeah, we could do that, or we can just do this. All right. Let's do Snagus. Man, I'm suffering for a resource. I can't imagine the others not either, because it's been a rough. I mean, the whole day's been a struggle. You think most these groups will split again after this season? That's a good question. I think there are a few teams that either might not want to do it this next time around, or they might not want to do this again. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not confident to give fully that answer. I do hope that other teams that do see this are like, yo, I want to try this. I think, okay, as long as next one you're able to put 12 teams in here, even if they're not as strong in some of the other, like some of the 100 player teams, you're going to have a balanced server. Right now it's 8 teams, 4 factions. Would be lovely to see 2 full teams here, 2 full teams here, 2 full teams here, 2 full teams here, and 2 full teams here. You know, if we could, that would probably make for the best mega server, because and then in this case you just have a very active server, very limited resources. People have to play extremely smart, because think about this, right? Let's say there are 2 active teams. They don't have to be strong. Think about this. They don't have to be strong. And I'll give you an example as to why. You have 200 players here, 200 players here. If any of these factions are too strong, imagine just 200 players just invading here and start taking all the ties. Boom, 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 boom. They might not want, and this is the thing, by having different teams in different sizes, as long as they're full, maybe simply like, you know what, we don't want the ring. We know we're not gonna get the ring. You know, there's these 2 teams, they're too strong, so we can't take them on. But we can wreak havoc in this server. So you have this, got 2 teams in room saying, you know what? If Erebor starts going, if they start taking too many tiles, too many lands, we're gonna invade them and it's gonna start taking their tiles. Boom, boom, boom. Take their keeps. Boom, 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 boom. And Erebor's gonna have to make a choice. Do we keep fighting where we're fighting now, or do we send few players to kind of build a roadblock, build a defensive point? It just creates this this potentially organic and fluid server, because so many different teams and they can do whatever they want. And I'll give you a few examples. Okay, there was a server where it was youths and gods, and then we fought against myth and chaos, right? So that's two factions there. You had an Ilil and order. Wait. Was it Ilil in order, or was it just Ilil and somebody else? I can't remember now. And then East, if I'm not mistaken, it was Lame and Pran. Guys, if you guys remember this server, I know that there was one team that basically got left out. And they were the third wheel in our dynamic with myth and chaos. Whoever they chose to back would get an upper hand. So they were able to play the way that whatever way they wanted. Exactly, the L dog, the Undeep season, where it was the first meme from what I remember, PTSD from Undeep, where I'm an Undeep survivor. One of those, those nice little memes and badges that we make and share in the community. So because that third team was powerful, they could tip the scale anytime they wanted. In that server, although Myth and Chaos had the ring, nobody had the top title, because nobody had enough capitals for it. That's one example. The other was when youths and gods fought. It was a 10v2. There's a bunch of smaller, very active teams, but smaller teams throughout here, and gods basically fought by themselves on the west side. We fought kind of by ourselves on the east side, and then later on, I think the teams in the middle kind of end up fighting each other. Oh, there you go, Yorsk, your myth that season, sweet. Now, I remember that there were the Hispanic teams. Was HISP, and then another team. They ended up breaking through. So, youths had all these lands over here that were trying like multiple fronts, but the Spanish teams were able to break through this pass, and man, they were like ants and cockroaches, just swarming tiles everywhere. Just boom, spamming tiles, taking time, spamming tiles all the way. Like they wouldn't stop. So like, guys, we gotta find a way to contain them, because they were coming like all, if I'm not wrong, they're coming like all the way down here already. So luckily we were able to, bring a task force to cut them off. It took so much time. But we were able to then, get this sorted, get this under control. But it took us hours. It took us a lot of time to get that under control. So it was fun. Quite a few cool things happening there. So because of that, if you have a server with a bunch of teams, there is a very good chance that you can balance things out, organically. At least more organically than most servers have been. Ooh, I took 2. Yo, got some PvP in the house, yo. Got 10k merits in a new tile. Yo, let's go. Unintended, but not gonna lie, I'm happy about that. Might be boosting myself up. So merit, yeah, boy, 13. So we gotta take on Bone Crusher now from Step. He's at 1.67. We are at 1.672. Ooh, got 40k to go for my next rank. Sheesh, that's gonna take a while. All right, let's see, Eduardo. Let me see your question here. For a fellow, out of the discussion we have in now and going back to ways of improving a bit the game, do you think that an updated voucher system would benefit the game and free to play? For example, all the purple and gold items, be able to change them by vouchers in Ascend T1 and T2. I see, that's a thing I think would be very cool. I think players what's up, my boy Avicii? Right before starting my answer, Avicii hitting us up with the 24 euro super chat. Avicii, I appreciate that support, brother. Eternally grateful for the support, man. That is something, Eduardo, that I think it would be amazing. Players should be able to change vouchers to the level that they want. So let's say, right, I have a bunch of epic vouchers. I should be able to sell those vouchers. And then exchange them for gold or mythic vouchers. So let's say, right, if the purple one is worth 40, right? Just being arbitrary here for the simplicity of things. Okay, let's say this is 40. I can sell these ones for like a 4th, and then that 4th becomes eligible for vouchers in whatever other currency, the legendary or mythic. Of course, in these exchanges, you're gonna lose. It's never a win for you. Oh, give us 1-to-1. It's never going to happen, guys. When you sell vouchers, you're already losing a third of it. So don't expect to make anything really out of it. But the option to say, look, I'm going to save all these purple vouchers so I can slowly exchange them for T2s or Tier 3s, and then that allows free-to-play or low spenders to then work on those things. So I think it'd be a cool idea. But you can also do the opposite, right? You can say, look, I don't want to invest anything into my Tier 3s for some reason, because maybe I'm never going to spend enough, and then I can sell those vouchers to get a bunch of T2 respect vouchers and maybe boost my shadow or my alerts. So I do think it's a good option. We used to have something similar, remember, with the dismantling in the past. What's up, Jax? Yeah, Pete, if I'm not mistaken, we used to have something similar to that when we had the dismantling. So I used to like that. I mean, everybody loved it, but it was too advantageous. But interestingly enough, the meta in this game has never really shifted that much. It's been a very slow process to broaden the meta. You know, Saruman. I mean, think about this. Dane was meta. Dane wasn't as strong in 1.0 as he is in 2.0. If guys correct me if I'm wrong, but the only reason a lot of players were pumping Danes in the past was because he was a tier 3 and he was cool. He was very strong up until, never mind, let me correct myself. He was very strong until Dual and Frenzy came out. Then Dual and Frenzy became the new Dane. Right? So, Glash needs a breakout season. Yeah. He's always been strong, but in 2.0 he really shone before people started to find out about Bjorn, and he's still strong. You know, he has his issues with the CC that a lot of CC commanders trigger in the rounds where, you know, if it lands on him, it basically stops him. But there are players still using him and doing still 150,000 damage pretty consistently, so he's still meta. And there isn't a damage deal that really has fallen out of meta. In order for them to do that, they really have to shift the meta from damage dealers to troops to supports, and just how slow the pace of changes are in the game. I don't see the meta really changing. I see the meta broadening, but not changing. We don't have a fast-paced system where every new commander is a power creep on the previous ones. How many people are investing into Guahir, Helm, Azog, Bard? Almost no one, because the old ones are still great. You know? Not saying the new ones aren't great, but there isn't a need for like, oh man, this new commander came out and he just, at R5, he just wrecks everything. Imagine at Z10, you know? It's not like the Sunin was kind of like that in the beginning until people learned to counter. That was the whole game of 1.0. You had to learn to counter a commander. Isildur was a great counter to her, and in a lot of instances, Isildur was just destroying people because of his heavy defense builds that worked really well. You know? So I don't think the meta shifts that fast enough where the respect voucher would be really a problem. That's just my personal take, you know, my observations from how slow the game progresses. But you never know. They could come out next month and say, hey, we got all these new features coming out, all these new gameplay styles, all these new things, and things could change. But just from past history, 2.0 transition, if I'm not wrong, did even follow the roadmap that they created. They had to create like a 6 month. It was like supposed to, the full transition, remember, was supposed to happen in like December. And then they gave all those respect vouchers, all those, remember, you guys remember that? Gave all the 30-day window to change your gear, to update your gear and all that stuff. There was the vouchers to give, you know, respect back in very, very limited too. When all of that was gone, the game wasn't even fully transitioned. So commanders were still out of tune. PBE was still going on. You know, a bunch of commanders had issues. A bunch of, you know, builds had issues. But so, yeah. It is kind of funny. Since I am free to play, I sell all my purple gear. I don't need to slowly get gold. There you go, man. There you go. Do you have a dynamite report? I can look for it. Let me see if I can find one. Avicii. Not sure though. Let's see. Dynamite. I can ask him for one too though. So not whiskey. Benetrix. She hit 2. Ooh, that's a good hit for her. Wow. What is she running? Okay. Treatise, fellow. Dynamite. It would be cool if I could search. Asking too much now. I know. Who am I to ask for some search? Not this one. Where is Dynamite? Dynakids. Where's Dynakids? Zeus, Hermes, 0, me again. Come on, man. See if we can find at least one. Not a single one, Avicii. Ooh, okay. Ooh, baby, a Z3. Black Serpent has one of the coolest skins for Z. I think it looks really good. Not a single one of Avicii. I'll ask him to send it over. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we got one. Oh, here we go. I found it. Right here. Dinah. Running a R14 Sauron, R11 Saruman, Z3 Gandalf the White, and a R12 Bjorn. Whew, found one. Sheesh. We're up on the leaderboard. Yeah, top 10 still. Could be easily top 3, but no really no real need to. Just kind of slowly build those troops up. That's why I'm going back to building T1s and T2s, because that's all I can really afford at this time. This time of day, boys and girls. Let's do this. That one is there. Yeah, they're both there. I just gotta. Okay. Just gotta go. We're almost halfway. I would have liked to see them as commanders. Who are you talking about, Vici? Let me see here. Well, Dana 1.0 was really strong in my memory. No, it definitely was. I was trying to remember now, but it did lose a lot of spots when Frenzy Khaldun and Frenzy Dwalin came out. 2.0 was Dane, Bjorn, Gandalf the White, Sauron. Then it was Gil, Dane, Gandalf the White, Sauron. Then it became Dane, Bjorn, Gandalf the White, and Sauron again with command. And now it's Sauron, Bjorn, and Sauron. Exactly. Bring back burn damage. That would be awesome to see. It's Timberjack. It would be cool to see commanders doing stuff like that. I would like to see them as commanders. You just saw Dynamite's commanders. Problem. Good night, Tom. Have a great evening. You take care, brother. The problem is if you don't spend or just do season pass, you spend 8, 9, 10 seasons trying to get a command up to speed. That's true. And that's the nature. That's the nature of this game, and it's I don't see, that's an issue I don't have an answer for. No. He was busy with the super chat, fellow. What's up, G2R? This is a game it's pay to play, I know it's pay to win in a way, but man, I've been kind of breaking my head looking at very, very high respect commanders. There's such a diminishing return on like in putting your commanders very high respect, that people that invested a fraction of what some of the Krakens do are going almost toe to toe to them. It's crazy to think he was your enemy a few seasons ago. Sweet. Hope it was a good season. I missed 1.0 Mouth of Sauron, counter all the meta pretty much. Yeah. There's a lot. Gothmog, Mouth of Sauron. There are a lot of different options for people to play with. A lot of cool options. It also did take a lot longer to level up, though. You guys remember the grind, because it was single commanders. If you had 10 commanders, 12 commanders you ran, or 8, whatever, 8 commanders, how long it took to level those things up. incredibly high, you know. And that's one way that they nerf high spenders, because imagine if they said, you know what, let's make leveling easy. That would mean that Krakens would be able to have 12, 16 armies going, while free-to-play will basically have 3 or 4. Because that's really, I mean, for PvP, that's maybe even 3, maybe 2. Free-to-plays had very limited, stuff. So imagine 16 armies when free-to-plays had 3, maybe 4. That would have been an even bigger balance problem. So the formations for balance, in progress balance, is actually not the worst. But just like you guys, I do miss 1.0 too. I had R25 Dualen, killed students easy after 2.0. He is respect 17 is trash. I mean, yeah. All T1s besides probably Axok and potentially Boromir are 2 commanders. They are definitely playable on 2.0. Those 2 are definitely. Everything else is basically below average, I have to say. Night as well. I'm still watching, but charging the phone later. Angus, have a good evening, brother. See, left Boromir is nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Boromir's do fine because they're kind of a support. And Axog just has nice 4. They're not the strongest, but nice 4 damage skills, which are always nice. 2 cons are dead now. Yeah, they for sure are, guys. Sadly, they are. For the most part. Clash of the Titans. Ooh, look at those. Look at those. Yeah. There's always something about World Chat. Always. Okay. What else can we do? We've taken these 2 tiles. We got some things going. Can I take another one? Maybe I can take this one here for now. That should... Ooh. Let's see if I can take this one. Probably if there's somebody there, it's going to hurt. But at least if nobody takes it in the next couple of hours, it gives me a couple of hours of extra resources. And I need it because, man, I need to fill up these things. It's rough having half barracks and not being able to fully complete them. There was a lot of corruption at start of game and a lot of devs went to jail. Really? I didn't know that side of the story. Would be cool to see T1 comms being given similar damage as T3 have when they ascend to highest tiers. I mean, I think they do though. If you look, for example, let's have a look at a T2, right? Let's look at Shadow. That's the only T2 damage that I have. Okay. Shadow has a base value of 16 to 19. Yeah, but the bonus doesn't really help. $23 to $26. I'm sure I'm missing something here. 14, 24. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you get that basically. Okay, so T2s. Yeah, I gotta check my Dualin. My Dualin is Z on my other account. I can see how far away, but I'm pretty sure it's like 2-3 points difference, I would say. I don't know if it's much higher than that, the difference. Could you run an Obsidian Dagon on Shadow? Yeah, you can. You just have to make sure, essentially, with Shadow, if you really care about doing a lot of damage, focus damage, it's essentially making sure you have about, 200, maybe like 190 pre-battle is fine. Because, in this case, I would get 80. 80 would put me like at 250. So you can potentially even go lower if you're higher. If you're high respect, you can do anything you want with Shadow. But if you're lower respect, then you can do Obsidian. You just have to make sure that you have about, 230, 220 attack after the debuffs that you get. Or maybe 210. 210 after the debuffs, I think is a good spot, honestly. Why don't you sack the middle skill tree on Shadow? Well, that's because right now he's just PvE. This or this is it's not gonna go crazy difference. So I'm using him for PvE right now, currently, until later. So for now, he's just PvE. Oh, I guess we did take the tile. We're gonna take it. All right, not bad. Okay, so we can take this one. It is a little bit more resources per hour here. And sit around waiting for troops to cook. Let's see what else we have here that we can send over to... I'm just gonna... Whatever I have... Ooh, that's horrible. Whatever I have that I know I'm not gonna use for PvP, I'm just gonna send it over to Bard for tiles for now. That's all I'm gonna do. Let's go over here. There we go, because we do need troops. So let's transport these dudes. I'm just not going to transport the cataphracts because it's one. And I will use cave trolls later too. I'm going to use these because I'm not going to be cooking any wusses for now. Nope, those I'm going to use. These can go. These cannot go. These can go. These cannot go. These cannot go. I'm actually really liking hill trolls. I would love to PvE with Z commanders. I'll abstain from commenting. Just completely out of stuff, man. Here we go. Some extra free resources. Just what we needed. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm running him on beat at R10. Shadow is good. Look, if you're considering... I've seen a lot of players do this recently. Trying to break gear and, break gear and formations down to have 2 PvP teams. Don't. Most players cannot deal with the hyperactivity that it takes to have multiple teams. Because you have to hyper focus on your resources that you use. You have to be hyper focused on your resources that you gather, the tiles that you have. Because look at the guys who are at the top right now. Right. Sorry, not here. Leaderboard. Dig Dug has multiple formations. Raven has multiple formations. I don't know Hero or the Beast. Lucifer, I would assume, probably has at least 2. Dumbo for sure runs at least 2 or 3. I don't know the other guys, but like I said, some of the guys at the top, I think Thanatos runs 2. A lot of the guys that are hyperactive in farming. What's up, King One Eye? Are players that run multiple formations. As you guys can see here, I've been fighting, trying to stay at the top, but it's hard. It's hard to stay at the top, especially with the amount of tiles that we have currently. And when we get the extra 50, then I'll be like a 60, 70. That will be good enough to keep my, my buildings going a lot more than they currently are. So keep one team, just one team. Get the best gear that you can on that one team. And just maximize it. Study the reports. You get there's like, oh, why is my Dane doing so poorly? Oh, maybe it's because you're slower than the enemy. Just think about this. If you have a commander that has CC, either madness or stun, that hits in round 3 stops your Druid's Blood. That could be easy 30,000-40,000 of damage, 25,000 damage, I'd say. Okay. On round 3. And so if the enemy who has that CC skills goes before Dane, then there's a chance he's gonna get CC'd and you're not gonna do the damage, and maybe that's why you lost that fight. So you gotta start looking at reports and seeing, why is this happening? What can I do to mitigate? Like, okay, so I don't have speed gear, so I need a very fast unit. What options do I have? Well, you can go wusses. That gives you initiative for the first 4 rounds, which is good. Think about this though. It's good for the beginning of the fight, but if you're gonna, after Wuss's effect goes out, and then you still have During's Blood for 2 more rounds, 6 and 9. And 6 is where Dane really shines. So that means that now the commander has the CC, potential CC on your strongest round, and then you hit yourself. Wow. Okay, so what do I do? Look at other tanky units that are faster, so they can keep you being the first one. That's the kind of stuff you got to do. And honestly, guys, that's the kind of stuff that takes time, and not everybody wants to put in the time. So there's always ways to improve your builds, and that doesn't necessarily mean more money. It means looking at what your enemies run often. If they're running a lot of small units, then you run cavalry. If they're running a lot of large, you run small. If you're running a lot of medium, run large. Or large are too expensive, then at least run cavalry, because then you're not giving them the 20% damage buff if you're running a small unit. You know, all these things you have to consider. That's how the game is supposed to be played. Of course, there's the sieging, there is the YOLOing, you know, but the way that you can help your team is just by making your builds 3% better, because that saves you 3% more resources every single fight, letting you fight longer for your team. So I just use one main, have maxed it with all I had. We'll stick to it. Maybe drop Dane for Saruman. There you go, man. That's good. That's good. Azog T1 can do good damage, but not against strong formation. Yes, but it kind of fits the whole idea of him being a T1, you know? At Ascended to Zenith, he becomes a lot stronger, but he's still not a mythic, you know? He's not a T, you know, he's not a tier 3 by nature. But I have seen, you know, Ascended Z1 Agizox doing 130,000 damage. That's pretty good for a T1, you know. Wasn't full refined relic, was nothing, just wasn't full strengthened relic either, just an unlocked relic with breaking the gold gear from his other damage dealer that he was testing. So I get you, don't worry, I get you. But there's always ways to improve. Sure, he can just make him mythic. Yeah. Well, buddy, time for bed. Good night. Good night, Eduardo. You know what? We're going to close in 2 minutes here. We're not going to extend any longer, because last night, I know we did what? Was it a 3-hour stream last night? Was it last night? We did a 3-hour one. I think it was. Can't remember now. See, that's how cuckoo I'm going. But no, let's recap here, guys. Okay, so Rohan has taken this land here, and maybe that's where they're gonna kind of play out and chill for the rest of the season. Ooh, there's this guy here. Okay, Rohan is over here. Yeah, so yeah, last night was a very long one. Tonight I can't do much longer, or else I won't be able to do all the streams throughout the week. Okay, so Gondor is all the way in these regions. We're fighting Merc over here. A little bit of action on this side, on this crossing here. Ooh, I guess I could take some tiles on this side, huh? Maybe this, I mean, that takes I can't use my forts. Gotta save for the resources. That's not gonna do it. Okay, so then we're fighting all the way up north here with Arnor in this big cross. We cross it. Now the east is pretty chill currently. You got some fights here between Loth and Order and Loth over here. Interesting to see Loth What's Loth's fellowship size? 1 million. All right, I guess they can disrupt a little bit if they want to. There, 1 million. Tile taking. Fort destroying. That could be an interesting episode there. And like I said at the beginning, Erebor has taken Carn Doom, potentially forcing Angmar changing their capital from Carn Doom to Rivendell. They're gonna have to highly defend Israel's. That is gonna hurt them big time if they lose this capital. Might force them to play their cards into Linden's capital. Ooh. We shall see. No idea yet. Linden has lost a few. They lost all the passes, basically, besides this neutral one. And 50%. Okay. So they're slowly losing. I mean, Arnor and Angmar are basically sharing lands within the Linden region, I'd say. But a much needed strategy in order to stay with resources. We'll see what happens to these other two later. I mean, are they going over for this one? Not yet, I guess. Yeah. Not yet. But the fight continues here. A bunch of pins. There's 4 pins here and 3 pins this way. And there's currently 3 pins over here and 3 pins over here too. All right, guys. I want to say thank you for everybody. I appreciate Eduardo and Ingas and Avicii for the super chats tonight, guys. I'm truly grateful. Why do you stop fighting against dwarves? Because we were invaded by Arnor. So good night, everyone, and see you next time. Please don't forget what I asked you for, my friend. I will follow up with the devs just as soon as I finish here. All right, Avicii? West Coast, East Coast beef. Good night, G2R. Guys, appreciate everybody. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next episode. All right? Take care, and have a great evening, everyone.